United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will be following the rules of procedure that were effective December 15, 2020. Please make sure that your cell phones are silenced. Any correspondence for distribution to the elected officials should be provided to the city clerk and should include a copy for the city clerk. Our meeting schedule for April is as follows. Tuesday, April 5th, 12th, and 19th, we'll have a work session at 4 p.m. On the 26th, we'll have a regular session at 7 p.m. We currently have no citizens signed up to speak. Is there anyone that wishes to speak? All right, we're going to continue our meeting with a public hearing for the Eckland Family LLC Local Conversion District Overlay at 4 Cypress Street.
Okay, so good evening. I'm Megan Flake with the Planning Department, and this is the Mayor and Council public hearing for a local conversion district overlay at 4 Cypress, and it's been filed by Eckland Family LLC. So 4 Cypress Street is on the southwest corner of Cypress Street and Potomac Avenue. It's an existing mixed-use building that's around 9,904 square feet, and the existing zoning is residential moderate density. And then these photos show the existing building. So on the left is the Cypress Street frontage, and then on the right is the Potomac Avenue frontage. And that lawn that you see there is where the applicant is proposing an additional parking lot. So again, it's a mixed-use building, so it's a first-floor commercial space with 1 dwelling unit, and the applicant wishes to expand the permitted proposed commercial uses to include professional offices, administrative support offices, business and professional offices, ambulatory healthcare services, and scientific and technical services. And then again, they do propose additional parking and landscaping, and the concept plan is shown here. So again, just parking on that big lawn area on the corner of Cypress and Potomac. So again, it's continued use of an existing mixed-use building, was occupied by various commercial uses over time. The proposed use is compatible with the surrounding area. It has water and wastewater service currently at the property, and there aren't any traffic capacity issues. We did hear from a couple neighbors who were concerned about street parking, but they were happy to hear that the surface parking lot was proposed for the new use. I think that would help a lot. And then also our comprehensive plan encourages adaptive reuse of mixed-use buildings like this one. And then the only specific conditions required by Planning Commission are that they'll require a site plan to be reviewed and approved for the parking. And then I'd like to enter into the record the Planning Commission file by reference, which is ZM 2021-01, and the legal advertisement. And then we'll give 10 days to submit public input. And then we'll aim for introducing the rezoning ordinance in April to be approved in May. That's everything I have.
Do you guys have any questions?
No.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So we'll leave it open for 10 days.
For and against.
I'm sorry.
Anybody want to speak for or against the rezone?
Oh, is there anyone that would like to speak
Either for.
for or against? Sorry. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is William C. Wantz. I represent the applicant, Eckland Family LLC. Can everyone hear me all right? No?
Yep.
Try a little louder.
There you go.
There you go. We are pleased to present this application for local conversion district to the Mayor and Council this evening. It has received the favorable recommendation of the Planning Commission, and with one change from the application. The Planning Commission, there was a question raised as to whether the list of potential uses in the local conversion district needed to include catering kitchens, and we've deleted that. So that's the only change from the time of filing the application to this evening's presentation. The current use of the property is part of an existing dental practice, which constitutes a valid non-conforming use. Dr. Eckland and his father have maintained a practice in the same neighborhood for 2 generations, and those of you who were previously part of the legislative body of the city participated in the approval of the first local conversion district just a block away, where Dr. Eckland has moved his dental practice. With technology advancing the way it is, he intends to continue to own the existing building and to locate in that building some innovative dental technology involving 3D printing of prosthetics, and this will result in faster response times to patients. It'll result in reduced cost, and it's a more efficient way of conducting his dental practice. They're prototyping that now in their existing office and hope to move it to its permanent location to continue the use of the property, either as a non-conforming use or pursuant to a local conversion district. The local conversion district is proposed simply because the application, when you include the size of the parking lot, did not fit into the parameters of the expansion of non-conforming use allowable in the non-conforming use provisions of the ordinance. It exceeds the 35% limitation. So this is the best approach to continuing this professional office property in the residential neighborhood in which it's existed since it was a bakery back in the 1950s, and it was Paul Wood's karate school in the interim back in the 70s. Among the long-term benefits of receiving the local conversion district approval is the flexibility in the eventual marketing of the property. Should Dr. Eckland discontinue the practice of medicine, it would be available for other compatible uses without interruption. The existing building occupies a portion of the lot. There is currently no off-street parking on the existing site to serve the existing or proposed uses. Parking has been in a premium. That's one of the reasons Dr. Eckland moved to the new facility, and Dr. Eckland has proposed a new parking lot to serve the 4 Cypress Street property, which is described in the concept drawing that Megan referred to, prepared by Frederick Cyber and Associates. The benefit of the existing off-street, or the proposed off-street parking, will be that the parcel would then return several on-street parking spaces to the general neighborhood use. The proposed off-street parking facility may properly be considered customary accessory use incidental to the enumerated uses proposed in the application, all as contemplated in the local conversion district provisions of the ordinance. As further contemplated in the ordinance, the building and parking will be oriented toward the adjacent public streets. The application is accompanied by a concept plan showing the location, design, and buffering of the proposed off-street parking lot and the proposed development layout. No alteration of the total square footage of the existing building is proposed, nor are the uses proposed to be changed at this time. There's a small apartment on the second floor, which accompanies the commercial use on the ground level. The building height will not change. It is not anticipated that there will be any additional signage, except directing people to this aspect of Dr. Eckland's facility. No street furniture is contemplated in connection with the proposal. The ordinance lists several other requirements, which I'd like to address just briefly. One of the elements to be addressed is whether the proposed local conversion district will contribute to the city's accessible base. Indeed, it will. Dr. Eckland continues to invest in both of these properties. The dental practice as an employer will be supported by the proposed use. The building meets the requirements of a commercial use existing prior to March the 7th, 1977, the effective date of the ordinance as specified in the local conversion district. The relationship of the building and its surroundings will not change. The structure will involve no outdoor dining, no additions to the structure contemplated, and as required to be stated by the ordinance, the applicant intends to begin construction of the project of the parking lot within 1 year. There'll be no outdoor vending machines, no outdoor storage. and the use will be limited to those uses requested in the ordinance. I believe we would like to submit at this time the application, the supporting statements, the history of the use of the property, and the record and recommendation for the Planning Commission, and I'll entertain any questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
Only one statement, Bill, and that is we're happy to see a reuse of a current structure again in the city of Hagerstown, so appreciate that.
Pass that along to the Ecklands.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak for or against? Okay, so we will leave the record open for 10 days for public input and close this public hearing. Right up next, we have approval of the minutes.
Madam Mayor. Now hereby move for the approval of minutes as presented for the mayor and council meetings held on February 1, February 8, February 10th, February 15th, and February 22nd, all of 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. A consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move that all the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of an ordinance, amend the city code by repealing and reenacting Chapter 140 Land Management Code.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move that the mayor and city council approve an ordinance to amend the city code by repealing and reenacting Chapter 140 Land Management Code. The reenacted Land Management Code includes the 2021 package of annual revisions finalized by the mayor and city council. This reenacted version of the Land Management Code shall be known as version 3.8.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries 4-1. Approval of a resolution to accept the memorandum of understanding for relocation of a portion of Hagerstown Cultural Trail.
Madam Mayor, we move to approve a memorandum of understanding with the Maryland Stadium Authority regarding land exchange, construction details, and associated costs for the relocation of a portion of the cultural trail. I further move for the mayor to execute the MOU 20 days from today.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Introduction of an ordinance, conveyance of Hood Street.
Madam Mayor, I move for the introduction of an ordinance to quitclaim any vested interest the city may have in Hood Street to the Maryland Stadium Authority. This conveyance is required for the construction of the multi-use sports and events facility.
Second.
Bob?
Yeah, I got it. For the change in the effective.
Yeah, we just want to make sure it appears on the record.
Yes, so the ordinance effective date is actually May 27th, 22. The initial packet had a date of June 27th, 22. So we just want to make it clear that the effective date for this ordinance was May 27th of this year. Good?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
thank you.
No problem. Any,
Shelley.
No.
Tiara?
Gary.
We sound
Okay.
alike.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Introduction of an ordinance, conveyance of a portion of the Hagerstown Cultural Trail.
Madam Mayor, we move for the introduction of an ordinance for the conveyance of a portion of the Hagerstown Cultural Trail for the Maryland Stadium Authority. Consistent and in conjunction with the related memorandum of understanding, this conveyance is required for the construction of the multi-use sports and events facility.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of Resolution 2022 Summer Camp Program.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the approval of a resolution to authorize the execution of contracts with the Hagerstown YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, the Robert W. Johnson Community Center, Girls Inc., and Beacon House to operate summer play camps for the 2022 season. Funding amounts for each camp shall be per the staff recommended funding levels in the attached March 10th, 2022 memo. Funding is from the Recreation Division operating budget.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution for the redesignation application for the Hagerstown Arts and Entertainment District.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move that the mayor and city council approve the attached resolution indicating the city's intention to apply for redesignation of the Hagerstown Arts and Entertainment District. By this resolution, we are also expressing our intent to provide admission and amusement tax exemption and property tax credits for eligible activities and agree to the income tax subtraction modification for qualifying residing artists in this area if the Hagerstown A&E District is redesignated by the state of Maryland.
Any discussion?
Just a point of clarification for staff. So it has the, and maybe this isn't placed, but it has the document, it has the designation area. I just wanted to confirm that that does include the changes in the percentages that we discussed at the last meeting.
It's in the real estate tax credit. You're talking about the 50% for 10 years. Yes, as a
Okay.
part of the resolution, it maintains the existing tax credit as is.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution annexation agreement for 55 Oak Ridge Drive.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move that the mayor and city council approve the attached resolution and annexation agreement between the city of Hagerstown and JDA Hagerstown Industrial Properties LLC, owner of 55 Oak Ridge Drive, which outlines the process and conditions of annexation of the tract in exchange for receipt of city water and wastewater service. Per the annexation agreement, the annexation process for each lot on the tract will be initiated following the property owner's receipt of use and occupancy permits from Washington County for construction of the two proposed warehouse buildings or December 31st, 2023 for Building 1 or December 31st, 2024 for Building 2, whichever comes first for each lot. The properties will be zoned IMU, industrial mixed use, when the annexations are effective.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution to accept the offer of dedication of property adjacent Edgewood Drive.
Madam Mayor, hereby move to approve a resolution to accept the 1988 offer of dedication included in D. Liber 973, folio 797 by Hoffman and others for the future widening of Edgewood Drive. This additional property will allow the Kerwood development to widen and add turn lanes on Edgewood Drive as part of their land development project.
Second.
Seconded by Shelley. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a resolution, acceptance of the easement agreement between Potomac Edison and the city of Hagerstown for secondary electrical power to a newly constructed single-family home.
Madam Mayor, hereby move that the mayor and city council approve a resolution of the mayor and council of the city of Hagerstown, Maryland, to enter into an easement agreement for the underground installation of secondary power for a new home construction off Watershed Lane across city property along Foxville Road.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a city holiday, Juneteenth.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for mayor and council authorization of the addition of June 19th, Juneteenth, to the list of city observed holidays beginning on June 19th, 2022, observed June 20th, 2022, and continuing into future years.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Appalachian Regional Commission fiscal year 23 project funding requests.
Madam Mayor, I move that the mayor and council authorize the submission of the following projects to the county commissioners for funding from the fiscal year 2023 Appalachian Regional Commission ARC grant. Number one, upgrade Hagerstown wastewater pump station 13 on Western Maryland Parkway, requesting $1 million in ARC funds. Extend R. Paul Smith Boulevard to Heb Road, requesting $750,000 in ARC funds. Construct new parking deck on West Antietam Street, requesting $1 million in ARC funds. Update the 16 to 20 inch piping and valves inside the Wilson Water Treatment Plant, requesting $1 million in ARC funds. Reduce inflow and infiltration of groundwater into the Hagerstown Wastewater Treatment Plant, requesting $250,000 in ARC funds. And create hydraulic model of the Hagerstown Wastewater Sewer Shed, requesting $110,000 in ARC funds.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of conversion of one part-time position to full-time in the Department of Community and Economic Development.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the mayor and city council to approve the conversion of one part-time position to full-time, one economic development coordinator or other appropriate title to be determined. This position is necessary to support the high volume of economic development-related demand, opportunities, and customer needs. This change will be budget neutral, and the position will be funded from the general fund.
Second.
Any discussion?
What an exciting thing. I mean, like, the fact that we are just booming with business and economic development, so kudos to staff. It's excellent.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a change order for the 2022 Pavement Preservation Program.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move to approve change order 3 in the amount of $120,000 for the Pavement Preservation Program contract with Craig Paving, Inc., funded by additional highway user fee funds received from the state. This change order allows additional paving to occur.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. I have a question. Rodney, you're on the hot seat at the moment. So, is this part of the work that's going on at Wilson and Potomac?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's difficult in the morning when folks are going to South High, Russell Hicks, and McKay Dow.
Yeah.
So just letting you know that, like, when they're starting before 8:30 in the morning, it's creating havoc. And I'm sure you've heard about it, and if you haven't been there to see it, it's intense all
I think
4
they're
ways.
finished. I think it was like a one day or 2 day job at most.
Okay, and I think that's what the public wants to know is how long.
It's finished.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was inconvenience for sure.
Trust me, I understand.
I might be the first complaint.
See, I didn't call this time, even though I sat through
Sure they-
3 traffic lights.
Well, sure they appreciated you not calling.
I don't think they will be.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of application form and guidelines for the Historic City Farmers Market at University Plaza.
Madam Mayor, I hereby move for the mayor and city council to approve the attached application form and guidelines for the historic city farmers market at University Plaza, 50 West Washington Street. Staff may make administrative edits from time to time with the approval of the city administrator.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a quick point, because we had the city farmers market discussion on for last week, and I want to make sure that I did not confuse anyone out there in TV land. My suggestion was simply an idea about possible locations that we could consider as we try and learn through the process of, revamping what a downtown farmers market may be, not an ultimatum that we go and, confiscate somebody's parking lot for that purpose.
I'd like to add one thing in the list, because, when we talk about it, and when the completion of the plaza happens, I'm not opposed to having it there when we're having events over, over in University Park. So, I think that'd be perfect.
Agreed. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City Administrator.
Nothing tonight, Mayor, thanks.
All right. Shelley?
Nothing tonight.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay. Tom? Kristen?
Yeah. So I think I had a number of things to say this evening, and so I'm just going to try and keep it as simple. It all sounded a lot better, in my head as I was thinking about it. But, I just want to reiterate this evening, we had a number of things on our agenda associated with the stadium. In fact, I think if record were to be reviewed, save for the initial selection of the location, which I, obviously was opposed to on the merits of the submittal, I think I and just about every member of both of those administrations have voted unanimously in favor of all of those efforts that have occurred to date to move that project at the state level forward for this community. And I think that I also wanted to address, an issue that's been brought to me on this and a number of things, but, when things are brought to this table, I think the citizens expect, and should, rightly so, that we ask questions. And I probably, do it more so than others often. I probably do it in a degree of a forbearing tone. My good friend Kirchwell tells me I should smile more while I'm doing it. My daughter says with the mustache. But my daughter says with the mustache, it just looks creepy, so I don't. But I think for seriousness' sake, I think that it's important to reiterate, and I think what the mayor's comments, even last week, and I think that we say as a body here, is our effort, I think is really at the end of the day to be on team everything. And for me, when folks bring things to the table, I'm going to ask those questions. I think that public sentiment over a long period of time, for myself in this seat, has come to support the fact that I do that. The fact that I do test things and weigh the merits and read things with the diligence and honesty that I think folks want to see. I don't ever intend to quit doing that. I certainly don't mean to do so in a demeaning manner, whether it's staff or third parties that come in before us. And so, for me, I'm hoping, we can continue just to figure out, from everybody at the table and all of these projects we have, that we're all on team everything, that we all want the same things at the end of the day. I certainly pledge to smile a little more, to do a little better at that. So I'm looking forward to having those continued conversations.
We should do a cheer.
Thank you.
I should, yeah.
Can we do
Cheers, parade.
team everything?
I'm laughing because it's normally us women who are told to smile more, so I'm glad to hear it's aimed at you this time. I have a list of things. Actually, one, I just wanted to thank staff and everyone that was involved in the St. Patrick's Day run on Saturday. I wasn't able to be there because my daughter had a roller derby meet, but the pictures were awesome. It was a huge turnout, and I know that our downtown restaurants were packed. So for everyone who was included in that, thank you. Speaking of the roller derby meet that my daughter had at Turner's, I just want to give a huge shout out to the Community Rescue Service. They are not able to have a meet if they don't have medics. And they have 2 medics required, and the medics that were supposed to be there were all held over in places in the county that didn't have staffing. So CRS stepped in and sent a crew so they were able to have their meet. So huge shout out to Chief Sprecher there, who stepped in last minute, like 9 o'clock the night before, and made it happen for 9 o'clock the next morning. And just a reminder that this Friday is the Maryland International Film Festival. It'll kick off at the Maryland Theater at 5:30 Friday night. It's always a good time. So make sure you come downtown Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's events happening all over. And also just want to give a shout out to our delegate, Brenda Cham, who just recently had back surgery. We are hoping that she heals quickly and gets back to work for us. And hopefully she's doing well. I saw a Facebook video of her walking today, so that's a good sign. So blessings to her. And lastly, I just wanted to thank Congressman Trone, who just secured, finally in the budget, it signed the $500,000 for our blight removal, and also close to $500,000 for crisis beds at Meredith Hospital. For those of you who aren't aware, Washington County had 12 overdose deaths in February. That's the highest that we've had ever in our county. So unfortunately, the opioid epidemic isn't getting as much attention because of COVID and everything else, but it is still raging, especially in our community. So that's a start. hopefully we can be like every other community around us and get 24-hour crisis care sooner than later, so we don't continue having 12 overdose deaths in a month. And with that, I hope everyone has a good week. See you at the film festival, and we're adjourned.